Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Life with Joyce Fashion Show. Okay. In today's video, we'll cut a dress cut gown, a two-piece gown with princess that at the upper side. Okay. So before we start, this is our measurement for today's cutting. This is our measurement for today's cutting. Okay. To start putting this down, we'll first and cut the down part of the gown because it has a half length, a half cut at the waist side. So we need to know what to cut from this. Our gown length is 57, then our half length is 17 inches. So 57 minus 17 is 40. Okay, so our down part will be 40 inches length. So we need to add 2 inches length for the fold. Okay, so what we'll have here is 42 inches. Then we'll mark 42 inches. 42 inches. Then at this point, we'll put our hip line. Before we do that, we'll remove 2 inches. We'll place this tape like this. We'll place our 2 inches at the waistline. Then have to determine the hip line. So our hip is 39. The hip line of 39 inches will wear 9 inches. Okay. Without removing these 2 inches, you can, if you want to calculate it direct from the waistline, you will now mark 7 inches. Okay. So the next thing that we'll do is to put the waistline. Our waist is 41 divided by 4. We will get 10 and quarter. We mark 10 and quarter. Then you add 2 inches for folding allowance, for sewing allowance. Then at the hip side, her hip is 39. In this case, her waist is bigger than her hip because she have stomach. So her waist is 41 and her hip is 40. So I divided 41 by 4 to get 10 and quarter. I marked it, then plus 2 inches sewing allowance. And at this point, I divided 40 by 10 by 4. It will be 10 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. Okay, then you mark. Then this 40 inches, this hip measurements here, this is 12 and quarter. You know, this style is pencil gown. You minus 2 inches from this 12 and quarter. At the downside, you get 10 and quarter, depending on how pencil you want it to be. Okay, remember that our folding allowance is 1.5 inch. Yes, folding allowance. So from that point, we now curve this. We now mark this to join this side. You see, this is the shape of the person. Okay. So we now cut. If there's any question, don't hesitate to drop it on the comment section. Okay. Then at this point, we put our dart. We make use of our nipple to nipple measurement, which is 3.5 plus half inch for sewing allowance, which is 4 inches. Okay, so we'll notch that point. Our dart is 4 inches. You see, I notch this. This is our dart. So let us cut the back. Remember to put your zipper allowance at the back because there is zip at the back side. So this part is our zipper allowance. I just removed 1.5 inch for that. So we'll notch the back that side. We'll notch it so identify that this is the dart. Okay. and the zipper side you also notch. Okay. So at the down part, of the back side, we'll remove our slit line or slits. The back side will have an opening, so I want to make use of 14 inches for the opening. 14 inches for the opening, so I will not share. Okay, I'll just not share. This is where our slits will start from. Okay, then I divide the back side. So I'm done with the down part of this gown. Okay, so let us move into the upper part. So if you want to know the measurement that you use for this size, that just make use of your highest measurement, which is the waist. Okay, which is the waist. Okay, the waist 41 divided by 2 is 40, is 20 and a half. 20 and a half, divide it again, which is 10 and a quarter. Then this 10 and a quarter, you add 6 inches sewing allowance, or you can make it of 5. Okay, well, for your starter, 6 inches I would advise. I would advise you guys to use 6 inches. So we are now making use of 16 and quarter. Okay, so let us start with. So the first one now is to place our top length. Remember that our half length is 17. Then you add your 1 inch for sewing allowance. But in this case, I like making use of 1.5 inch, so that after cutting, after sewing, I will now cut off this half inch, because in so many cases, after while sewing the bust side, your measurement might reduce. So that is why I like adding extra 1.5 inch. Okay, so plus 1.5 will now get 18 and a half. 18 and a half. Then after that, we now place our line divisions. So a bust is 42. A bust of 42 will make use of 9 inches armhole length. And then our under bust length is 15 plus half inch, which is 15 and a half. Then the rest will be our full length. Then at this point, I'll mark out the shoulder to nipple line. Make use of shoulder to nipple line is 11 plus half, which is 11 and a half. We'll mark it here. 11 and a half inches. We also mark our under bust, which is 15 and a half. Okay, then let us start cutting. So the next thing we'll do right now is to mark out the nipple to nipple measurements. Our nipple to nipple is 7 divided by 2, 3.5 plus half, which is 4 inches. So we mark our 4 inches down. We'll mark it down. Just look at what I'm doing very closely. This is the easiest method. This is the easiest way of cutting a princess dart. Okay. So the next thing we'll do right now is to measure our shoulder. Our shoulder is 16.5 divided by 2, which is 8 and a quarter plus half. We'll have 8 and 6 over 8. So measure this down squares to meet our armhole length. 8 and 6 over 8 to meet our armhole length. And we join the points. Okay. So at this point, we just curve. We put our bust measurement. Our bust is 42 divided by 4. We have 10 and a quarter plus 3 inches sewing allowance. Okay, so we curve. Okay, so the next we measure the armhole circumference like this. This is 12 and a half divided by 2 is 6 and a quarter. So we'll mark 6 and a quarter here. So we'll make use of this 6 and a quarter, 1 quarter in our and sense that. Okay, so at this underbust, we'll remove 1/4 inch. Then we'll also remove 1/4 here. 1/4 to reach. Don't put 1/4 at this side. You only put 1/4 at the bust side, at this side. Then you join your dots. Then at the shoulder to nipple points, we'll put 1/2 inch here below and come up by 1/2 inch. Then you also join the points. Let's touch, and then you also join this to this point. Okay. So then the next thing we'll do again is to come down by 1 inch and come up by 1/2 inch. By 1/2 inch. Then at this 1 inch, we'll come in by 1.5 inches. Then you join. You also join the points. Let's watch your closely. You also join the points. Okay? You also join the side. The side will now go straight. So remember that while cutting, we'll cut out this shaded part. This shaded part, we'll cut it out. See what I did? This shaded part, we'll cut it out. So the next step is to put our points, our pointed areas. Remember that this side is 1 inch. We'll add 1 inch here. Okay, we'll extend this side because of this. Because if you cut this out, your measurement will shorten. So at the underbust side, our underbust circumference is 36.5. Let's just call it 37. 37 divided by 2, 18.5 divided by 4, 9.25. 9.25. Because this 1.25, mark it 1.25. Then you add your 3 inches, so your allowance, and you join. Then our waist points. Our waist is 41 divided by 4. We'll get 10.25. You mark. Then you also mark 1.25 for this side, and you now put your sewing allowance. Then you sewing allowance. Then you join. Have you seen what I did? Okay. So we'll just cut out our neckline. So before we put our neckline, please, if you have any further questions, don't be shy. Just drop it in the comment section, and I will going to. So we'll use this to cut out our back side. Remember to put your sewing allowance at the back side. Okay. See what I did? See how I placed it? Okay. Then on this side, you mark this line. This side will pass this one by 1/2 inch. Then you curve to bring this side. And let us start it. Also remember to reduce your back side, slant it down by 1 inch or 6/8 inches, so that while putting your zip, especially for those materials that do drop, you must shorten the back side by 1 inch or 6/8 inches, depending on how your material is. Okay. So after cutting the side, you now remove this and slide this part like this. This is how to create a back. The back breast says that there is no breast at the back side, so it will be straight, to be plain. Then on this part, you reduce this side by 1 inch or even 1/2 inch, depending on your choice. Is your choice, so that the shoulder side will not be straight, so that it will be fitted. Okay, then this one to pop out the side. Remember to hold here like this, because if you do not put this thing, I just added here. After sewing it, one will be longer than one, so you don't want that to happen. If you don't want that to happen, just add your something at that point. Then at this side, remember what I said before, you have to shorten this side by 6 over. Some people do use 1 inch, but I prefer using 6 over 8 inches, so that while putting your zipper, while putting your zip, your material will not be puffy that part. Okay, so let's make sure I'm doing. Cut it out from your zipper side. Your zip allowance part. Okay. See, let's cut it out. Then the notch show. Notch this place to indicate that your zipper allowance. Start from here. Okay. Then we now cut the neck side, the neck part of this dress. Then before we cut the neck, don't forget to measure your armhole circumference. So I'm trying to measure my armhole because I'll use it to cut out my arm. This is 11 and 6 over 8. Okay. So the next thing we do right now is to. So our neck looks like a canoe neck, but it's a little bit smaller. It's not that wide. So I will need to make use of. 5.5 inches. I don't want it to be so wide. Okay, 5.5 inches and 3 inches thickness, or I can use 3.5. Let us make use of 3 inches. So for the neck, the back and the front will be the same thing. Okay, so you cut it together. It will be the same. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So you cut. You see? Then I will now have to mark my there we go. So this is what I did. Okay, so let us open the front parts and we'll see what we have here. This is our front side. See what I did. See how our gown shape looks like. Then this is our princess dance. Okay, you see, and this part will be here. See what I'm doing. See what I did. Okay, please, if you find this video so helpful, please subscribe and share. Okay, you see, our cloth looks nice. Then for our sleeve length is 22 and half. Let's just use 22 inches. Okay, so 22 minus 12 inches. The other of our sleeve, the short sleeve, we need to add extra 2 or 3 inches to the sleeve length. Okay, so 12 plus 2 is 14, then plus 1 plus half inch for sewing allowance. Remember that I added 2 inches before, and that 2 inches is for both the allowance and the sewing allowance. Okay, so 12 plus 2 plus 1 inch, which is 15 inches. Okay, so you mark it 15 inches. Then at this point we'll come down by 2 inches, or even you can use 1.5. Then you give it a sleeve curve. Okay, remember that you print this sleeve so it will not be so curvy. Then you measure 11.5 inches and you add your sewing allowance. I just added, or add 4 or 4.5 inches. You just add 5 inches will be enough. So at this part of our sleeve, We put our round sleeve. Our round sleeve is 13 inches divided by 2, 6.5 plus 6.5. Then we'll add our gathers allowance. I will just add enough. I'll just add maybe extra 7 inches will do for the gathers. Okay. Then you join this to your nail. Started 22 from we subtracted 12 from 22. So the remaining sleeve will now be 10 inches, okay? So our second sleeve will now be 10 inches. Plus the half that we removed, which is 10.5. Okay? Then we'll add 4 inches for folding, which is what? 14.5 plus half inch for sewing allowance, which is 15 inches. Okay. Then at this part of the round sleeve is 13 inches divided by 2, 6.5 plus 1.5 sewing allowance, which is 8. Then at this part we'll measure 12, 6 plus 1.5, 7.5. Then we'll join. Then at this point we'll measure 8 inches, which is divided by 2, 4 plus 1.5, which is 5.5. Okay. Then you join. Remember that here is the folding. So at this point we have come to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you for watching this video. Thanks for subscribing to our channel. Please subscribe so that you'll be updated in our next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.